All right, thank you all for the applause. Thank you all for staying until this moment. Today's topic is part of our systematic training program, and it is the final topic out of 12 themes. It is titled, Becoming a True Winner. Now, the topic that comes before becoming a true winner is titled, How to Succeed and Sustain It. If you recall the sequence of this systematic course, the 11th session is How to Succeed and Sustain It. Actually, this should be the final topic, right? How to succeed and sustain it. It seems like it should be the last one. But in fact, it is not the last. The final topic is called Becoming a True Winner. Because what we're talking about today, how to succeed and sustain it, is still within the context of organizational sales. It's still about how big your organization becomes, how much income you earn here, and how long you can sustain it. It still focuses on that level. But for me, even if your organization is huge, even if your performance is outstanding, even if your income is very high, and it lasts a long time, to me, you may not necessarily be a true winner. That's why I added the final topic, becoming a true winner. I hope that today, through this session in Hong Kong, I can share with all of you, at least my personal perspective, on what it truly means to be a winner. How can we determine that someone has truly won completely, that he has truly won in life? Therefore, this subject, this theme, will relate to our RiWay logo that each of us wears. This RiWay logo was designed by me. It has 6 lines, and these 6 lines are meaningful. The lines on both sides are aligned, and each line carries its own meaning. So, what do these 6 lines represent? They represent the 6 major goals of our lives. From financial goals, to health, to social connections, to family, to mindset, and ultimately to your spirit. Whether you often attend RiWay's training sessions, or even just now, if you weren't dozing off, you would have noticed that the other speakers also mentioned this. Several of them brought it up. Speaking of the 6 major goals in life, to me what truly matters is, what is the ultimate purpose they are meant to achieve? These 6 life goals, where are they really guiding us toward? And when we finally arrive at that place, can we say we've truly won? What exactly is that place? What do we call it? It is called freedom. You can attain true freedom. What is freedom then? In fact, freedom doesn't mean that you can do whatever you like without restraint. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not about saying, what is freedom then? I choose to slack off and do nothing. That's my personal choice. No, that's not freedom. Because you know there are consequences to slacking off, right? Say, I want that thing. I like that car. Can I just walk up to it and drive it away just like that? Can I? No, you can't, because you know what will happen if you do that. You're breaking the law, aren't you? Because that might belong to someone else. So what is freedom? Most people are not truly free. So what exactly causes our lack of freedom? Let me give you an example. You see a very beautiful house. You really like its design. You love it. It costs 25 million Singapore dollars. For example, I want it. Can you have it? Can you get it? If you can't get it, then you are not free. Hey, I see that I'm overweight now. I want to lose 20 kilograms. Can you achieve that? If you can't do it, then you are not free. You want it, but you can't achieve it. That means something is restricting you. You want to buy that item, but you can't afford it. There's something inside you that is holding you back, tying you down. You want someone to like you. You fall for a girl, or you fall for a guy, and you want them to like you back. But you don't have the ability to make that happen. You just can't do it. There's something that is limiting you. You want your family to be happy and harmonious, but you can't make it happen. You have no say at home. You are not free. So when we talk about being a true winner, it means I must attain that freedom. I can do what I want to do. I can buy what I want to buy. I can influence the people I want to influence. That is what it means to become a true winner. That is my personal belief. Why does a person pursue freedom? Why? Because this is what human beings naturally seek. Why do I say this is what we all pursue? Because today, if you make a mistake, if you break the law, governments of various countries, any government will lock you up. Would you agree? If you break the law, they put you in prison. What do they take away from you? They take away your freedom. In other words, when you lose your freedom, you suffer. This also means that what people are truly pursuing is freedom. And many people, though they are not physically in prison, in their lives they are not free. It's no different from being in a prison. There is something inside of them that is holding them back. So to attain true freedom, you may think you need certain inborn conditions. But it's not about being born with it. It's about what you develop later. You need certain conditions. Before you can attain true freedom, the first is you need discipline. You must have self-discipline. That means being able to restrain yourself, being able to control your own impulses. Before you can control the world, you must first learn to govern yourself. For example, if I want to lose 10 kilograms, does it require discipline? Does it? Yes, you do. I want to earn 10 million Singapore dollars. Does it require discipline? You need to be highly disciplined. You must be different from others. And all of this comes from within yourself. You don't need others to teach you this. It's already inside you. You are capable of controlling yourself. First, you must possess this condition, that you are able to maintain discipline. But aside from self-discipline, you keep doing, moving toward your goal. Keep doing it again and again. But it's still not enough. You need a second element. What is it called? It is called self-reflection. In the process of doing, you won't necessarily get everything right. During the journey of practice, you will keep making mistakes again and again, making mistakes repeatedly and constantly, or you may fail to meet the standard. That's completely normal. But every time you make a mistake, every time you fall short, you must take time to sit down and reflect. And what does that mean? What does it mean to me? You need to be strict with yourself, very strict. You cannot allow yourself to keep making the same mistakes. When you make a mistake, you must harshly hold yourself accountable. Then go and make a change, correct it. Tell yourself, next time I must do better. This kind of character trait is also one of the most important conditions. Otherwise, you just keep doing it again and again, repeating the same actions and continuously making the same mistakes. You might end up doing more and failing harder. So self-discipline alone is not enough. You need to set a certain high standard during the process. And you must continuously relearn, constantly reflect, constantly correct. Now, the third one. You must have self-love. The meaning of self-love is, to me personally, it means not just loving yourself superficially. It's not about pampering yourself. It means setting high standards for yourself. Giving yourself even higher expectations. And not giving up so easily. Because the opposite of self-love, in my view, is self-abandonment. It means giving up. I did it. I tried. It didn't work. I can't do it. A person who lacks self-love is a person who lacks self-confidence. He doesn't have that confidence. So first, we must set higher standards for ourselves. It's okay if I can't do it yet. I still believe that I can do it. I still believe that I can do it. Now, when we talk about self-love, there is also one important aspect. We must do our best to pursue freedom. First, it's like going to battle on a battlefield. Reaching each goal is like fighting a war. You can't carry too much baggage. You must not carry too much baggage. Just like what leader Yao Xiujin shared earlier. Wow, her family situation, her background, the circumstances from her past. She found a way to let go of that emotional baggage. Some of the things she went through during childhood. You must learn to let that baggage go. If you keep carrying it on your back, that is actually a sign of not loving yourself. That is why RiWay places such strong emphasis on the recognition rallies. It is very important. Why do RiWay people keep getting better and better? Why? Because someone is affirming them. This kind of thing, I personally benefit from it deeply. I benefit from it very, very much. I once stood on a small stage, just a tiny little stage, such a small stage. I stood on it. My former boss recognized me, praised me for what? For achieving a sales performance of 3,000 Singapore dollars. Yes, just 3,000 Singapore dollars of performance. I went up on stage and received a badge. A small little badge, just for me. I was praised for the first time. It was the first time in my life. When he praised me, more than 20 people in the audience applauded. At that moment, I felt how incredible I was. I felt, wow, how amazing that felt. That's when I knew how important this kind of recognition is to people. It is very, very important to people. That is why I take it very, very seriously. I pay attention to every single detail. From the very first year of RiWay, we started giving recognition, and we've continued doing so up to the 17th year. Next month, we will have 8 recognition rallies. They will be held across different parts of the world. If you observe each one carefully, you'll see that each rally is better than the last. Each one has a higher standard than the previous one, right? If you go back in time, if you joined RiWay 10 years ago, and look at the recognition rallies from back then, they are worlds apart from the ones we hold today. Don't underestimate us. Make a little progress each day. Make a little progress each day. That is the self-reflection process I talked about earlier. Make a little progress each day. No matter how high you've reached, no matter how satisfied everyone is, there's always something that can still be improved. Next time, we'll improve this part. Next time, we'll have a better process. Standing up there, being recognized. Many people say, oh, this is just RiWay putting on a show. Just trying to trick some people into joining. Let me tell you something. Sometimes our recognition rallies are attended only by our own people. Isn't that true? Because of venue limitations. It's just our internal team, not a single new guest present. We still hold recognition, just among ourselves. This hasn't happened just once or twice. It happens often. This shows clearly that we truly want to recognize people. We sincerely want to give praise. We want to highlight the effort between people, to distinguish their contributions and abilities. This is a place that is truly fair. And standing on that stage, if you want to criticize, wait. You need to stand up there yourself first to understand. You need to experience it personally. Only then will you feel that kind of emotion. Wow, everyone in the audience applauding for you. The visuals from the company? Wow, those videos all showing your face, your name. Wow, if you can't control it, you might even pee yourself. Really, I mean it. Sometimes when I'm sitting in the audience watching, wow, how amazing it would be if someone treated me like that. Wow, if someone could treat me like that, how great that would be. This is RiWay. We created a company that even I, myself, would want to join. So look at many of our leaders. Truly, whether it's their stage presence now. Of course, I think they are all doing well. But even if there are areas where they may lack ability, they still carry strong confidence. Look at each one of our leaders. Their lives are getting better and better. They've raised their personal standards from the very beginning. Most of them, honestly, to be honest, no longer need to work. Most of them truly no longer have to keep working. So why is it that to this day, not only are they still working, but they're working harder than you, climbing higher with even more effort? Have you noticed that? Why? Because of self-love. Because of this confidence, the higher their self-confidence, the higher the standards they set for themselves. They care more and more about themselves. They respect themselves more and more. This is a very important part of life. When you start demanding more from yourself, that too becomes one of the essential conditions. To reach the ultimate final goal, to become the true and final winner, that is, self-discipline, self-reflection, and self-love. Only then can you attain true freedom. And once you have these conditions, then we can begin to look at how we can go on to achieve our goals. What kind of goals can lead you toward your freedom? This is exactly what the RiWay logo represents. It reflects the 6 major goals in our lives. And the first one is financial goals. First of all, you need money in your pocket. This is the most important one. Without money, everything else is just empty talk, right? In this real-world society, you must have money in your pocket. The other day, as I often do, I was watching some videos. There's always something funny on the internet. Sometimes they say things that are quite funny. He said the one who ends up with the princess isn't the prince at all. It's always someone like CEO Wang, right? Isn't that just reality? That's the way society works. She said she loves the sea. Turns out she loves CEO Wang's Mediterranean villa. She said there's a disaster in her destiny. Turns out it's CEO Wang's Porsche. Every time I watch this, I laugh. Then suddenly, I feel something. A very deep realization. How can a person live without money? We can't pretend to be noble and say, oh, money isn't important. Even if I eat simply. Even when I have money, I still eat simply, right? There's a hotel I really like in Hong Kong. It used to be called the Intercontinental. Now it has been renamed back to the Regent Hotel. There's a presidential suite on the upper floor. We once held a meeting there. The company took really good care of me. So they rented the presidential suite for me to stay in. When I entered that presidential suite, I saw the entire Victoria Harbor. Is it called Victoria Harbor? From that height, from that place, seeing the entire Victoria Harbor, and there's even a swimming pool upstairs, right next to the pool. When you see that view, at that moment you realize, how can a person not strive for success? How can a person live without money? When you have money, only then do you truly see, wow, that scenery, that image, that view. It truly moves people. Nowadays, whatever you do, you need money, right? Everything you want requires money. You say, my girlfriend doesn't care about money. She doesn't look at my wealth. But everything that touches her heart still costs money. Right? So what I'm talking about here isn't just money itself. It's not just about money, money, money. It's not about getting rich overnight either. If you want true freedom, you must have the ability to make money yourself. That's right, making money. It must be something you're absolutely confident about. Being confident means, your abilities can be converted into income. So what kind of ability can be turned into income? Sales ability. Whatever product is given to you. If you have the ability to sell it, you can sell it. This is a direct way to turn skill into income, right? Directly. Influence can also be monetized. You can influence many people. They can do the sales work together with you, and you earn a margin, a benefit from that. The more people you influence, the greater your benefit. This is the RiWay approach. You build a team, You develop a certain level of influence. You retain these people. You even inspire them to create more performance. Through a very fair bonus system, you earn your rightful share. The more you want, the bigger your organization must be. And this requires influence. You need sales ability. And this influence and sales ability, they are not something you're born with. They require communication skills. These are all things you must practice. These are all things you can learn. They are not innate talents. You say you're terrible at it. We can point to someone who started off even worse. And today that person is very successful. RiWay. Today is not the RiWay of 17 years ago. Today, the number of people who have become Pegasus leaders in RiWay. During one of the events, I counted them. The number of people who became Pegasus team leaders was 195 people. Becoming a Pegasus team leader. And you might not know what it means to be a Pegasus team leader. A Pegasus team leader needs to achieve at least 5 million SGD on average, all within 3 months. You must complete a minimum of 5 million in performance within 3 months, at the very least. And if you pay attention to truly become a Pegasus, it is very, very challenging. You need to influence at least 13 lines to become 2-star. It's not about you find one strong performer and he does 5 million and you qualify as Pegasus. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to find more than a dozen people. You need to influence all of them. And within those same 3 months, each of them needs to hit certain targets on average. The total adds up to 5 million. So reaching that average is really difficult. Some people do more. Some just barely meet the target. So overall, it must exceed 5 million, understand? So within 3 months, you must achieve at least 5 million SGD in performance. How much is that in RMB? It's more than 20 million, up to 30 million. Around 20 to 30 million RMB, all within 3 months. Such astronomical numbers, and yet over 1,000 people have achieved it. I don't believe all those 1,000+ people are super talented. Among them, some are just 19 years old. Just now, I heard one of them is 19 years old, right? Among them, there are people from 19 to 89 years old. There are even those who are illiterate. Did you hear that earlier? Some couldn't even write. When asked to write 0, he drew a turtle and a circle. And yet, there are also university professors, from street food vendors to corporate CEOs. From men to women, even those who are in between half and half, well, maybe not anymore now. Then be the first one to do it if that's you. From unattractive to attractive. From short to tall, from fat to slim. From dark to fair, there's everything. You must fall somewhere within that range. You're definitely in that spectrum. So what does this prove? It proves that this is learnable. Once you've learned it, oh, so this is how it works. Then you apply self-discipline and keep repeating it. Keep doing it again and again. When you make a mistake, reflect on it. Ask yourself, how can I do it better? Correct, 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 and correct again. And hold yourself to a higher standard. Don't give up. Keep repeating what you do. Repeat it again and again and again. One day you will start to realize your influence is growing stronger. You'll start to feel that your life flows more smoothly. You won't just passively accept life's setbacks anymore. You'll start demanding more from life. You'll want a better life. You'll want to earn more money. Your standards will rise higher and higher. And step by step, you'll start to reach that place. The ability where making money is no longer a problem. You'll stop worrying about not having enough money. And what's the next level beyond that? You won't even need money anymore. Do you believe that some people don't need money? I don't need money. Do you know why? Because I don't need to worry about whether I have money. Money is very important to me, but I usually don't carry any on me. And sometimes when I need to pay for tolls, I don't even have the money. Like when I'm driving, I don't have toll money. But now that happens less often because these days people fight to give me a ride. You can tell just by looking at me. I'm loved by all. I'm the kind of person cars fight to pick up. And even though I don't need to pay the toll. Sometimes when I drive myself, I forget, and I go, oh no, I don't have money. Or when I try to order food. Honestly, it still happens even now. Just recently, in fact. At the airport in Thailand, I tried to order Burger King. I wanted to get some Burger King to eat. After I ordered, I realized, oops, no money. So I had to eat airplane food on an empty stomach. But if someone's around me, do you think I have money? Immediately, someone will hand me money. And not just a little, a lot. That day we were eating in Singapore too, remember? Right? At the coffee shop? I said, Sister May, lend me $10. They immediately pulled out a stack. Wow. A whole stack of cash handed to me. I said, no, just $10 is fine. I just wanted to eat one nasi lemak. You know, coconut rice. But they handed me a whole wad. When you reach a certain level, you'll find you don't even need money anymore. Because everyone around you is wealthy. Right? That's when you know you've really made it, you've succeeded. When many people, at the very first moment, want to give money back to you, that's when, congratulations, you've reached that truly remarkable place. The ability to make money, can you reach that level too? Absolutely, 100%. 100%. As long as you have self-discipline, you keep improving consistently, and hold yourself to a higher standard. This is the first one. You need money in your pocket. When there's money in your pocket, doesn't it give you more confidence? Can it or can't it? If you don't believe it, just try going in with no money in your pocket. Try walking into a Rolls-Royce showroom. Walk into the place where they sell Rolls-Royce cars. The place where they sell Rolls-Royce cars. Yes, Rolls-Royce? Try walking in and taking a look. You'll be pacing back and forth at the entrance. You don't even dare to go in, right? Without money, even those regular luxury bag stores. You wouldn't dare walk into them either. But now, let's say you suddenly have $300,000 in your pocket. Would you dare to walk into Hermes? Would you dare to go into Louis Vuitton? You've got $300,000 in your pocket. Wow, you walk in with confidence and swagger. And the salesperson, they don't even need to check your pocket to know if you can afford it. They look at your face and know you can buy it, right? Because you know you've got $300,000 in your pocket. Your face immediately shows it. That kind of confidence, it definitely gives you even more self-confidence. That feeling is actually really good. That feeling is truly wonderful. That is exactly what we are trying to pursue. So that was the financial goal. Now, number 2, the goal of health. When it comes to health, lately, although I've put on a little weight again recently, a few months ago, I lost 25 kilograms in just 3 months. I lost 25 kilograms in just 3 months. Can it be done? Yes, you can. Come on and try. So many people say, my body doesn't feel good. This part hurts, that part feels off. Lose 10 kilograms and you'll feel great. Instantly, you'll feel better. I was the same before. Wow, just putting on socks would leave me breathless. In the morning, when I tried to put on socks, I couldn't even do that kind of bending motion. I'm telling you, just doing this, putting on socks and putting my leg down. I was that overweight. So fat that I couldn't even see my little brother when I peed. Couldn't see it. It's frustrating, and that condition keeps holding you back. Because of habits, you've developed some really bad habits. In terms of eating and exercise, very unhealthy, very bad habits. All of us go through this kind of situation. You repeat the same actions over a period of time, and they become habits. Breaking those habits is really difficult. Very, very difficult. You need something that shocks your system. Suddenly, you get angry at yourself. And your standards suddenly rise. Right there, you cut 0 sugar immediately. Is losing weight that hard? Just stop eating sugar, right? Just drink plain water and you're good. Don't eat those plant-based foods that turn into sugar, like rice, noodles, and bread. Those will still convert into sugar in your body, right? Sugar makes you fat. Don't eat it, just don't eat it. Don't drink it, just don't drink it. No sugary drinks. Coffee and all that. Black coffee is okay. Yes, boss, it's fine. Tea is fine too. Drink water. I guarantee you'll lose weight, right? Absolutely, you'll slim down. But the problem is, you can't stick to it. Why? Because you lack self-discipline. That's why you're not free. You want to be healthier, but you can't do it. Something is holding you back. Something is holding you back. Just now, we heard some stories. We must learn from this. Like Yao Shujin's story, her mother's cancer had spread to the bones. Do you think it's just her mother's issue? Did her mother even know? No, it just happened. Suddenly. If nothing serious has happened to you yet, take a look at some short videos while scrolling online. There are sudden death videos out there. They are well edited, compilations of people collapsing suddenly. Have you seen those? After watching, you get chills. Some people are just working, and right in the middle of it. Bam, they just fall over. Some people just fall, head straight to the ground, bam. Or some aunties coming back from the market. Suddenly collapse into a drain, right there. Have you seen that? They edit it together, 10, 20 of these videos in a row. When you watch them all back to back, in that moment, you might feel a sudden powerful force. A push that makes you want to change. But some people won't even react. Some just laugh. Hey, after watching. They think, it won't happen to me. Do you think those people in the videos thought so too? Will it happen to me? Did they think that? Could it happen to us? They didn't think so either. That's why we need these reminders. This is something that must be reminded. Just now, we heard about Yao Shujin and her husband. How many years they struggled. They finally had some results. They finally reached a modest, comfortable life, didn't they? Suddenly, someone in the family is diagnosed with cancer. With one round of treatment, you're back to zero financially, right? Hundreds of thousands are gone just like that. That is terrifying. But what if it didn't happen to her parents? What if it happened to them? What if it happened to you? You end up becoming a burden to others, don't you? You drag others down with you. So there's a saying, I heard this the other day, and I thought it made a lot of sense. This is what we truly pursue in terms of health. It says, the happiest state for a person is to live long but die quickly. Do you agree? Isn't that exactly what we're all striving for? People will die, right? It's just a matter of how. If you're going to die, die quickly. But before that, you want to live a long life, right? If you die slowly, you're stuck between living and dying. It's miserable. Just like your child. Wow, they've been struggling and working hard for years. Finally made some money. Suddenly a few $100,000 needed for surgery. Can you not pay? Can you? No, you can't. Siblings start raising money together. Every family ends up the same. At that time, the whole family is under a cloud. The entire sky feels gray. Everyone's mood is terrible. I believe you've seen others go through this. Maybe you've even experienced it yourself. Situations like this, every family will face it. It's too common. Finally raised a few $100,000 and threw it in. At that moment, finally, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. A year and a half later, it comes back. Another few $100,000 again. Fine, then 2 years later, it comes again. Have you seen cases like this? And they don't want to go, but they can't die either. Until everyone becomes angry. Everyone around you reaches that point of giving up on you. You're the one who dies. Everyone else is thankful. Phew, finally this old guy is gone. Isn't that the greatest tragedy in life? Not only are you suffering, you drag everyone else down with you. We must learn from this. We must learn from this. So this is also a matter of standards. Just being free from illness and pain is not enough. You can lie to yourself, right? I'm not sick. Nothing's wrong with me now. I'm fine. I can still talk, right? You can still walk, right? But deep down, you know your own problems, don't you? Right? Some people pee 7 or 8 times a day, right? Some only have a bowel movement once every 7 or 8 days. No problem? The problem is coming very soon. So now we start to understand what's really going on. You need to control your weight, then just control it. Luckily, I've been doing that lately, right? Thankfully, I've set a good example. Otherwise, I'd be a big fat guy right now. I know, I'm still fat now, but I was way fatter back then. At least now I have a little jawline. I didn't even have that before. It was scary. At least now I've done something and shown it to you all. Whether you can do it or not, honestly, it's none of my business. I did it, right? I lost 25 kilograms. That's like carrying 2.5 bags of rice. Now I feel light as a feather, really like a flying swallow. Feels like I could float. Even my parachute feels bigger now. When I go skydiving, before the parachute was so small I dropped fast. Now I come down more slowly. Because the parachute feels bigger. Because I've gotten smaller. That's something to be really happy about, at least for myself. And to be honest, when I take Perdier, I don't just take it. People always say I eat anything and everything. But now, seriously, just take it, that's all. If you take it, there will definitely be benefits, right? If you're taking it, you've got something going for you. If others don't take it, you'll definitely be better than them, right? You say I got scammed into buying this or that. Scammed, so what? I still take it. Why? Because this body is mine, and we don't live this life alone. There are people around us who care about us, who love us. We have a responsibility to take care of ourselves. It's our responsibility. Instead of saying, forget it, I give up, don't do that. That's why you need self-discipline. You need this kind of discipline. Make yourself better, more handsome, more beautiful, taller. Taller? Well, that one's genetic, sorry. But your proportions can be better, right? If you can be fairer, then be fairer. If you can be more beautiful, then become more beautiful. Love yourself a little more. Don't just aim to be free of illness or pain. I'm fine, I'm okay now. That's not enough. It's not just about being okay. You have to make yourself strong. So you can do the things you want to do. So you can enjoy the things you want to enjoy. I'm 50 years old and I can still go skydiving. Even though that's not something I really want to do. But it's something I want to overcome, a fear. At least I can do it. At least my physical condition still allows me to do it. At least you can still do the things you love to do, instead of saying, I want to do this, but I can't. My leg has been acting up lately. How about that? No, my eyesight hasn't been good recently. That's your body, right? And life is only a few short decades. Don't let these things hold you back. We should be pursuing freedom, otherwise you are not free. Even if you have money, it's useless, right? You're not free. Now, the third goal is also very important. Personally, I think it's extremely important. It's called the social goal. Your friends, what should be written next to their names? Their parents feel at ease letting their children be around you. That's my standard. This is my personal standard. What does that mean? It means that the parents of my friends, when they know their child is hanging out with me, they feel very at ease. Back when we were in school, for example, my kid is hanging out with this person. This person is well behaved, does well in school, right? He's a good influence on my child. I'm happy they're hanging out together, right? But if my child meets someone and, wow, all they do is fight all day, has a bad temper all the time, and is constantly rebellious, I'd be worried. I'd tell my child, don't mix with them, right? That's what I mean by mix with these kinds of people. But that's when we were kids. Now I'm talking about when we've grown up, when you become an adult. What kind of impact do you bring to your friends? What kind of impact do you bring to your friends? Is it a positive influence or a negative one? After getting to know you, does he become more positive, or does he become worse after knowing you? Of course, this is just my own rather extreme point of view. What I'm truly pursuing personally, I think you should have more and better friends around you. More people should enjoy hanging out with you. And for that, one very important thing is, I think you must be a fun person to be around, right? You like spending time with people who are fun, right? Right? You're with this person and it's fun, it's full of laughter. Easy to talk to, easy to hang out with, can say anything. Not the kind where you say something, "Hey, you talk about this kind of thing? I don't like this kind of topic." You haven't even finished talking and already get scolded. Do you have friends like that? Yes. But with some people, you just feel really comfortable. Whatever you say, they're okay with it. They can resonate with you on almost everything. When you talk, it flows so easily. Like that feeling of, 1,000 drinks is too few with a true friend. You know what I mean? You should become that kind of person. You can talk about any topic. And you can handle any situation. Whatever they say, you respond with genuine interest. Wow. They love engaging with you. Become that kind of person. And naturally, you'll have more and more friends around you, right? Your close friends will increase too. These are things we can actually change about ourselves. We're capable of doing this. We can make this choice. Be like water. Any small gap, I can flow through it. I can always start a conversation. Bring up something the other person is interested in. It's easy to connect. Know how to control your temper. Of course, it's also about your attitude and presence. You have to carry a certain level of influence on the other person. Slowly, you can influence them to become more positive. I have a lot of friends around me. Not just RiWay people, okay? Many of my friends around me because of me. Their lives have become better. Maybe because of me, they didn't get divorced. Because of me, their kids turned out better. That's all possible. From that, I feel a great sense of pride and satisfaction. And so I gain more and more friends. This is true even outside, let alone in RiWay, right? Especially in my own team. My impact on them should be even more positive. It shouldn't be that when I meet a friend outside. Pertier is great, Pertier. Trying to earn money off them right away. RiWay is great, RiWay. That's all you ever talk about. No friends left outside? I've already talked to all my friends, no one left. I talked them all to death. Strangely, some people do direct selling and make more and more friends. But you do direct selling and end up with fewer and fewer friends. Everyone ends up becoming your enemy. Why? That's why you need to have a little bit of class and composure. Don't start every conversation with, "Wow, I want to sponsor him right away," immediately pushing a recommendation, trying to convert him into money right away. No friends left, right? Just now, Candy shared an example. She followed up with a former Pegasus. Was it 2 years? 2.5 years? 1.5? I followed up with one of my friends for 5 years. I followed up with Ivy alone for 2 years. Just Ivy for 2 years. Before Ivy had even... Do you know who Ivy is? Our senior director. I followed up with her. I followed up so long she thought I was trying to court her. Maybe she was actually quite happy about it, right? Just kidding, until I really got to know her. Even before she joined RiWay, I already knew her husband and her kids. I knew them well. I even got to the point of being at her doorstep. I knew her husband and her children. Some friends, I followed up with them for 5 years. Only then did they come to me. They saw my growth, meaning I don't need you. I'm growing anyway. 5 years later, sitting in my car. Can this really be done? Of course it can. I drove them straight to the company, right? Normally I don't give rides. But once he started to waver, that's when I make my move, right? That's what we always talk about, posture. He saw your progress. You became one of his positive influences. Don't always just stick to one topic. You'll ruin your whole network like that. There's still a long way to go, right? And actually, just now, this was also mentioned in Chen Riqing's sharing. Brother Riqing, his talk on how to go deep, he keeps emphasizing, hey, please refer to how to go deep. That's actually very important. Seriously, please refer to how to go deep. No need to talk people to death. Wow. Keep talking. You need to have good posture. Let your friends know what you're doing. That's fine. But don't keep nagging, pestering them to the point they're done with you. Don't do that. Our friends are very important. Friends are important. Our social circle is extremely important. And what we need to achieve is to have a certain level of positive influence on them. Of course, in the end, you want them to do well too. If he's doing poorly, then introduce him to RiWay. If he's doing poorly, but if he's doing well, we should encourage him, right? My friends outside of RiWay, I definitely encourage them. No matter what industry they're in, I'll do my best to guide them or share with them the kind of attitude they should have in handling certain things. They can do really well. It's not only in RiWay that you can succeed, right? If you have successful friends in various industries, is that good for you or not? It's good too, isn't it? But if they're not doing well, which honestly is the case for most, then introduce them to RiWay. There's plenty of time ahead, right? Let alone the huge crowd of people outside. Just step outside right now. There are people everywhere. So many. Can you turn them into friends? Yes, you can. What's the difference between a friend and a stranger? The only difference between a friend and a stranger is communication. When you see a stranger, you won't talk to them. You just brush shoulders and pass by. When you see a friend, you naturally start talking, right? You'll say hello. You'll engage. So that means, once you communicate with a stranger, he becomes your friend, doesn't he? Today, I have so many friends who, well, it's not just me. Every friend we have started as a stranger, right? It's the same today. We have this need. In this industry, there's such a need. You must expand your social circle and pull them closer to you. Turn them into good friends. Don't say, I don't like this one. That one I can't click with. That one I can't talk to. Don't be so picky and calculative. Be a fun person, an interesting person. If you're someone who can talk about anything, your path in life will be very smooth. Very smooth. But if you say, this I can't talk about, that I can't handle, this I don't like, you'll have enemies everywhere you go. You won't be free, right? So in the end, it still starts with yourself. Change yourself first. Next, very important, the goal of family. Sometimes people ask me, boss, how are you running around this much? This month, with all our flying, I have 9 events. From the very beginning. What date did it start? The 1st? Was it March 1st? Seems like it. I'm not even sure. Anyway, since last month, I've just been flying nonstop. Until now, I haven't even gone home. This month is considered quite okay. For me, this month is light. Because it's only 9 events. When there are no trainings, I'm hosting leadership summits. It's every single day. Flying every day. My record? Flying 4 times in one day. Actually, flew to 4 countries in one day, took 3 flights. Morning, I'm in one city. Noon, another city. Afternoon, another one. At night, I'm in yet another city. So don't blame me if I show up and ask, wait, which event is this? You really can't blame me. You try doing it. You'll be even worse off. You won't even know where you are. Haven't been home at all. I haven't gone home since Chinese New Year's Eve. Strange, right? Well, my family should be a total mess by now, shouldn't it? Should be full of problems. Any problems? What do you think? Take a guess. Every family has its own struggles, right? I wouldn't dare say everything's perfect, but definitely better than a lot of people. Definitely better. At least I'm not troubled by family matters. So the first condition is you have to find a good wife, right? That's the first condition. It can also be one of the biggest causes of failure on your road to success. One of the failures that might happen on your way to success. It's about choosing the wrong partner. That's not just me saying it. It's written in books. I chose the right one. But no matter how right your choice is, there will still be family issues, right? At least I feel like there's no problem. Look, maybe I can share about myself. Since young, I was labeled a bad kid. Defined by the school, by my parents. Even by my 3 sisters as a bad kid. Rebellious, mischievous. Very mischievous. I just loved to mess around. I liked being that classic bad kid. Getting into fights. Bullying people at school. But the kind of bullying I did, it was like a righteous protector. So deep down, I still had a sense of justice. I never bullied the weak. I always picked the big ones to fight. My principle was, go for the big guys. Even if I lost, I wouldn't feel ashamed. Right? But if I won, wow, that's a lot of face, right? I've been like that since I was young, the kind of student teachers see as a total headache. Always at the bottom of the class. From primary school all the way through secondary, it was always like that. So in the eyes of my family, I was always a problem. A very troublesome one. My mother basically had to go to school every day to beg the school to give me another chance. The school wanted to kick me out. My mom would go and plead with them. Almost every time. And when I got home, I'd get beaten by my dad. Beat until I wasn't scared anymore. I was beaten so much my skin got thick. By the time I was 15 or 16, I started to block. Couldn't land a hit. He couldn't touch me. My reflexes just kept getting better, because I had been training for over a decade. So you see, everything takes practice. My reflexes became really fast. Even his backhand, I could block it. His forehand, too, I blocked that too. Until eventually, his hand hurt from hitting me. Eventually, he stopped hitting me. But stopping didn't mean peace. They gave up. They gave up on this son. I was once in that exact situation. That's why I say, if you want to be happy in your family, if you want their support, unconditional support, you must be the one who has the final say at home. In your family right now, are you the one who makes the decisions? I don't know, but you do. In your family circle, do your words carry the final authority? And I'm the youngest in the family. I grew up being controlled. I was someone who couldn't even speak up. Whatever I did was wrong, until now, where I now have the final say in the family. This process of change, this experience, it's not easy, right? If I had been a well-behaved, obedient child from the beginning, then okay, maybe what I say would have carried weight. But no, I was the complete opposite. It was only the moment my parents gave up on me that I began to reflect. Because I was rebellious. When they told me to study, I refused. But when they stopped caring, that's when I started studying. I studied so much that they eventually told me to stop. Big mistake. I studied even more and more and more. Studied until my brain was spinning. I used to study almost 24 hours a day back then. They got scared. That's a very rebellious personality. A personality that doesn't like to follow. Which is why I ended up doing direct selling, right? Because most people who do direct selling, they have this kind of personality. They don't care too much what others think. People who care too much about what others think, they wouldn't be sitting here, right? So this is exactly my personality. From one extreme, I swung to the other. And all of that had to be proven. Proven little by little, step by step. Influencing them little by little, lifting my posture bit by bit. Until today, where what I say goes. In my home, what I say carries so much weight. They're still my sisters. They're still my dad and mom. But when I speak, my words carry weight. That's what determines everything. It's come to that point, and from there I lead by example. It's the same with how I treat my children. Are kids easy to manage, are they? I've never once worried about my kids' studies. Never. Yet every single one of them is a top student. I've never monitored their homework. In fact, I even taught them how to skip school. Even when my youngest son was 8 years old, he had school the next day. I got him drunk the night before. I taught him how to mix drinks, then got him drunk. But they're all very well behaved at school. Do you really know why? Do you really know why? Even though I'm teaching them the opposite of what's in textbooks at home, they know exactly what I do out there. They know, they've attended my meetings. They've come home before and asked me something. One of my kids once asked me, "Papa, why are you my dad?" They found it strange that I was their father. Because they came to my meetings and saw me on stage with so many people supporting me. They just sat there and watched. Why is the person on stage and my dad? It was you get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I mean? Do you get what I'm trying to express? Honestly, I can't fully put it into words. He would come up to me and ask, "Why are you my dad?" Other people's dads are just normal. Why is my dad like this? They found it strange, you know what I mean? And later, it led to something. They started watching how I act at home. They noticed my attitude when I learned When we study or work on something together, our attitude, they learn something from me. I don't even need to teach it. I really don't. For example, my child. Like how Yao Shujin's child is learning Taekwondo, right? My youngest son got his third-degree black belt at just 10 years old. Third-degree black belt. So he's constantly going for training, for testing, and competitions and all that. Once in a while I'll go. Sometimes when I happen to be home and he has a match, I'll go and watch, and when I do, I sit in the indoor stadium just like everyone else. I was sitting up there, right? And my son had examiners sitting right in front of him. Those examiners? Actually, they're quite tense too. All the kids taking the test are nervous. They have to perform a full routine in front of those judges. But what really made him nervous was his dad sitting up there watching. His eyes kept looking up at me. I kept thinking, "Don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me." I didn't ask him for anything. Whether he did well or not, I honestly didn't care. I didn't go teach him anything, like, "You should have done this or that." I didn't criticize him either. I was just there to support him. But he was still nervous, because he cares about what I think. Because he knows who his dad is. So you can imagine what I represent in their hearts? My son learned skydiving. At 16, he got his skydiving license, 16 years old. It sounds simple. It sounds simple. But in the process, he had to complete 25 jumps to get that professional license. At every moment, he wanted to go home. But he pushed through until he got it. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. My wife was there with him for it. I wasn't there. My wife was there with him for it. Every day she called me. "Hey, talk to him. He wants to come home. Don't worry about him. He won't leave." He kept going, kept pushing, until he completed all 25 jumps. Why? Because his dad did it. It's that simple. He was doing it just to show me. He was doing it just to show me. Why? Because he needs to know who his father is. And that means he needs to make sure he becomes his best self. There are many such examples in my family. I have 3 elder sisters. They're all highly educated. One has a PhD, another has double bachelor's degrees, one has a master's degree. Every Sunday they play mahjong at home. They accompany my mother to play. That's a good thing. During one round of mahjong, have you finished your homework? Did you complete your school assignments? And in my heart, I'm thinking, that's how most people are. They can't do it themselves, yet expect their kids to do it. We parents couldn't do it, so we hope you can do it instead. No wonder there are so many problems, right? I don't need to do that. Not a single word needs to be said. So many times, it's not about how much time you're at home. Even if you're home 24 hours a day, that doesn't guarantee you'll have a happy family, agree? I'm away for ages, sometimes only one day at home in a month. But on that one day, my kids come into my room one by one. Each of them calls out to me. Each of them stays beside me. Usually, they're forced to learn piano. Practicing and practicing. They get angry. I'm done with this. But when they come home and see me playing the piano beautifully, a few of them went over to the sofa and sat there, pretending to chill. Pretending, but actually listening. Because after I finished playing, I didn't say anything to them. After I finished, I just left. A little while later, I heard piano music. I heard someone playing the piano. Back when they were being forced to learn, our house had no piano sounds. But once someone actually did it, when someone in the house set an example, they naturally followed. Because it sounded good. Because it felt nice. You have to reach that level yourself. A lot of people say, "Boss, you're not like most people. You can do that." Let me give you the best example. My wife. This happened not long ago, just recently. Before that, she had complained to me. Not exactly complaining, but she told me. The kids don't really listen to her. It's getting harder and harder to manage them, but you don't need to control them. Just make sure you do well. Like when they talk about learning music. Whatever activities they have outside, like music classes, they always make fun of their mom, saying she's totally tone deaf. So any musical talent my kids have definitely comes from me. Good genes. If you want some, I can lend you a bit of my genes. Just kidding. Just joking. And then they laugh at their mom for being tone deaf and offbeat. Not just the pitch, she even gets the rhythm wrong, like zero musical talent. When she sings, it's terrifying. It's like she's in her own world. So my kids always laugh at her, especially my daughter. She's a genius. She has absolute pitch. Is that what it's called? Absolute pitch? I ask her to give me a G sharp, and she just plays a perfect G sharp right away. Absolute pitch. Born with it. Her mom? Totally the opposite. She always teases her, refuses to accept it, you know? I told her, just follow my method. You might actually get it. So I started teaching her piano, someone with zero musical talent, and no coordination between hands and feet. Like the kind who might walk left hand, left foot together. That kind of person sometimes. You throw her a ball, she can't catch it. That kind. But in my heart, she's a goddess, so you're not allowed to laugh at her. I told her, it's simple, but my wife is very hardworking and persistent. She's been like that since school days. I started chasing her in Form 3, that's Secondary 3. I told her, just follow my method. Don't go learn it the usual way. You know how I teach piano? Start by memorizing one song. This you can take as a reference when you have time, because it's good to have a hobby. One song is only a few minutes long, right? It's divided into bars of 4 beats, and so on. Start from the first beat or the first 4 beats. That first 4-beat section, break it into one segment. In that one segment, left hand does this. Right hand does that. I guarantee everyone here can do this. Just learn the first segment. Can you do it? Just do this. Can you do it? If not, do it again. Still can't? Do it again. You'll get it within 10 tries. 100%. If not, then within 30 tries, you'll get it, right? Definitely. Okay, start with the first segment. Keep playing until you're smooth with it, right? No more mistakes, right? Then go to the second segment. Find it, like this. I showed her where the second segment is. This, okay? Now repeat the second segment. Second time, third time. Play it 5 more times without any mistake. I stood right beside my wife and taught her like this. At first, the kids were all laughing. making so much noise. I told her, don't give up, keep going. Every time she made a mistake, 10 more repetitions. One mistake, 5 more. And now, in less than 3 months. That song, don't play around with it. Mariage d'amour, or whatever it's called. That's not an easy piece, right? Now she can play the whole Mariage d'amour without even looking at the score. And another great example is right here in the room, Victor Tan. Short fingers. To be honest, I admire Victor the most. I taught him this method. He nailed it too. In over 20 years, very few people could do it. He's one of them. And my wife is another. Once she succeeded, she started loving music and piano every single day. Now she's playing all the time. The moment I get home, she's already sitting at the piano playing that same song. She only knows that one song, but that one is enough. I told her, it's okay, just that one. Because that's exactly how I started. When I was learning, I didn't even have a piano. Every day after school, I'd go to my sister's house first. She had a piano at home. I'd practice one segment at a time, step by step. Till today, I still can't read sheet music. But once I sit at the piano, I can play all day. I learned by breaking it down, step by step. Once I learned that first song, I used that one song to conquer the world. Back then, whenever I saw a piano, I couldn't resist. I had to sit down and play that one song. Even if I went to another place with a piano, I'd play the same song. And then what would happen? People would gather around. When people were there, they'd say, wow, you can play the piano. And I'd say, yeah. How long have you been learning? I never learned. Wow, you're so good. That's when the confidence comes in, right? The confidence builds. Then the second person says it, the third, the fourth. More and more people say it. You accumulate those affirmations. You become more and more confident. And eventually, you learn to love yourself more. My standards kept rising. At that point, you naturally want to learn a second song, right? So I learned a second one. Took me about another month to learn the second one. Same process. I kept switching between those 2 songs during the process. People thought I really knew how to play. Then came the third song, the fourth. And slowly, bit by bit, as you interact with the instrument more and more, you start to become familiar with musical elements. It becomes more natural. You begin to feel certain things in the music. You figure it out yourself. No one teaches you. Now I can even write songs. Whether they sound good or not, that's another story. But at least I have the ability and skill to write one. To write a song, right? And not just one, several. All starting from zero, from scratch. And when my wife did it, all of my kids shut up. They admire her. They respect their mom. Even now, they still can't do what she did. All of them have taken piano lessons. All with great talent. None match the one who was tone deaf. Couldn't keep rhythm. And moved left hand, left foot at the same time. That's the best proof. You respect that, don't you? Lead by example. You don't need to teach. No need to talk. Just do it and your children will learn. You become someone who loves to learn, right? You want your kids to be self-disciplined. Then become a self-disciplined person. It's not enough to just do. You need to accomplish something. And be passionate about it, not someone who complains all the time. That's how you make a positive impact on your family. If your family isn't happy after that, it's honestly strange. Even my own parents admire me now. They're like, wow, nothing left to say. And slowly, you can begin to earn back your voice at home, one step at a time. That's when whatever you do becomes right, isn't it? That's when you truly have freedom. You want to do something, but your mom won't allow it. You want to do that, but your wife doesn't believe in you. Calls all the time. Where are you? You're with some woman again, aren't you? All day long? Can you really get anything done like that? You're not free. You're tied down by all of this, aren't you? Your kids call you all the time and bother you. Why isn't my dad with me every day? Other kids' dads are always with them. Why don't you stay with me, Dad? That's not freedom, right? So how far do you need to go? That's for you to figure out. But if you truly want to gain freedom, to go wherever you want, to do whatever the heck you want, then think carefully. What level do you need to reach, okay? Okay, let's go. We're short on time. Oh man, I've gone way over time. 15 minutes. 15 minutes goes fast. We've only got 2 left. The goal of thought. This is really about one's knowledge. How much do you have inside you? This is what I talked about earlier. Can you be disciplined enough to learn something? Just like how I talked about learning piano earlier. Even recently, learning PowerPoint. Can you learn with discipline? I worked on it for 24 hours straight. Finished it after 24 hours and went straight into teaching. No sleep. Went straight into speaking. Sat there the entire day. I accidentally nodded off just now. Celeste even wouldn't let me sleep. I was like, I didn't even sleep last night. But still, I stayed disciplined and kept learning. At first I started by copying, just imitating. Bit by bit I got more familiar. Then I could start creating. Eventually I could even invent. That's how the learning process works. Start by imitating. You have to be someone eager to learn, so that when people talk to you, you always have something to say. Don't be like, this isn't for me. I never knew how to do this since I was a kid. You've got to challenge yourself. Just like swimming. I can't swim. Why? Because I fell into a river as a kid. I nearly drowned. Everyone has the same excuses. I nearly drowned too. Who hasn't? Some people turn it into a reason, some turn it into an excuse. Same family background. Some turn it into trauma. Others turn it into motivation for change. It's all about your attitude toward learning. You need to know everything. Learn everything? There's no such thing as no time. You think you have no time? I have even less time. I have to fly all over the place, right? And I still have to keep learning. And even with this past month, I managed to fully learn PowerPoint. I'm now familiar with all the commands. And you tell me you can't? You really think I only have 9 talks to do? I still have a ton of company matters to deal with. So many smaller meetings to run, right? But I still managed it. Maybe I sacrificed sleep, but I still did it. And learned something new again. Now, the number of things I can think of, there's a lot. Basically, I can do everything because I put in the effort and focus to learn, and I learn seriously. So whatever topic you bring up, I can talk about it. Even if I don't know it today. Once I hear about it, I immediately get interested. A few days later, I know it. You instantly become someone with substance. There's a saying, don't be afraid of an empty pocket, be afraid of an empty mind. When you know nothing and can't do anything. But if your mind is full of substance, you can do anything, and that brings you confidence. So again, it comes back to discipline. You must be disciplined. And finally, the most important, your spiritual goal. To pursue becoming a person who is upright, positive, and principled. That is the goal. You know, I'm always a bit scared when people say, "Boss, you're such an upright man."
Ayo, that scares me.
I'm someone who loves to mess around. Loves to joke and tease others. Many of the leaders in the front rows know this. It's fun, but this integrity is what I strive for. Don't scheme against others. Don't manipulate people. Don't, if it's not yours, don't take it. Live with principles. Work with ethics. I'm not saying, oh, that thing. Nobody's looking. Let's just take it. If it's not mine, I don't want it. You can put money in front of me. I'll still say no. We do things with integrity. That's what I mean by being a principled person. Sometimes life throws tests at you to test what's inside your heart. How do we overcome that? I once said this, to become a hero. If you really want to become a hero, it doesn't mean doing heroic things 24 hours a day. You don't need to be a hero all the time. You just need, throughout your life, those 4 or 5 critical moments. Just 4 or 5 in your entire life. Where you make the right choice, where you do the right thing. That's enough, you're a hero. What kind of moments? Maybe a moment when someone needs help, and you choose to help. Maybe a time when someone needs forgiveness, and you choose to forgive. Maybe when someone needs saving, and you choose to sacrifice yourself for them. Then you are a hero. We want to become people who are upright, who have integrity. You can't be upright even when you poop, right? You can't be all serious and righteous even when you eat. It's not possible. But at those key moments in life, if you can make the right choice, if you can control yourself, if you choose to sacrifice yourself, then in that moment, people will think, wow, you are that kind of person. Are you really? Well, others think you are. But the truth is, you don't have to be that way 24/7, which means it's really not that hard. You don't need to hold it in and plaster a righteous face all day long. No need. Just make the right choice at the right moment. You are a righteous and good person. You are a hero. Be a good person. You will have more friends around you. You will do everything else well. You will feel open-hearted and liberated. You can go anywhere. You walk alone and independently. You can walk alone by yourself. You won't say when you go somewhere, oh no, there used to be many enemies here. Can't go there, can't go here. All my former comrades were like this. Why? A moment of greed. A moment of something offended many people. Many enemies around. I can go anywhere. I don't need bodyguards around me. I go wherever I want alone. I buy my own ticket, I just fly. Many times people meet me at the airport. Boss, you're alone? What else? I don't need Azure Dragon on the left and White Tiger on the right. Don't need them. Whatever it is, I rely on myself. I can buy my own ticket. I can take care of my own stuff. Because I position myself as a leader. Let me position myself as what I pursue is true freedom. I don't need to rely on others. So once there was a young man. He went to a village. When he arrived at that village, he discovered that the people in that village had never seen a wild boar. Do you know what a wild boar is? Have you seen a wild boar before? Have you ever eaten wild boar meat? That young man thought, never seen a wild boar? So ignorant. He thought those people weren't impressive. He said, all right, I'll catch a wild boar for you to see. And then indeed, that day he went up the mountain to find a wild boar. He walked and searched around the mountain. Did he end up seeing a wild boar? No, but he saw many wild boar footprints. What do wild boar footprints prove? Are there wild boars? Yes. So he said, okay. He knew wild boars would appear around here. He went down the mountain to buy a large bunch of corn. Do you know corn? He bought a big pile of corn. He went to that place and spread the corn around those spots. And then at that place, he stuck a stick into the ground there. A stick this thick, he drove it into the ground. Then he left. After that, on the second day, he went back up the mountain to check. Was the corn still there? Still there? Still there. Still there, that's strange. There are obviously wild boars. He saw even more wild boar footprints. There are clearly wild boars. Why aren't the wild boars eating it? Don't overthink it. He cleaned up the corn that had already gone bad. He went down the mountain to get a new batch of fresh corn, put it there again and left. The second day, he came again to check. More wild boar footprints. But the corn was still untouched in the same spot. He didn't think too much about it. He kept doing the same thing every day. Collected the old, put down the new. Same on the third day. Same on the fourth day. Same on the fifth day. It was like this every single day. Until the seventh day. On the seventh day, he went there and took a look. Great, the corn was gone. What does that mean? The wild boars had started eating. So he became even happier. He went to buy even more corn and placed it there. Then he planted another wooden stick right next to the previous stick. And just like before, he did this every day after day. Each day, fresh corn and one more stick. Each day, fresh corn and one more stick, until after some time had passed. Those sticks had started to surround the area. Surrounding it until only one opening remained. He built a wooden gate, and he told himself, "Tonight, I'm catching wild boars." That night, he came especially early. He waited there, waited and waited until he accidentally fell asleep. When he woke up, oh no, the time had passed. He checked, the corn was still there. Had the wild boars come? Not yet. Okay. Suddenly, he heard a lot of noise. He saw many wild boars rushing in all of a sudden. Rushed in and ate, rushed in and ate, rushed in and ate. He started counting. Wow, so many, so many. There were really a lot of wild boars. Wow, many, many, many. And then he wanted to count, but couldn't. There were just too many. Then he saw that it was almost done, right? He went over and closed the gate. Then he went down the mountain in high spirits. He went to the village and told the villagers again, "I've caught the wild boars." No one believed him. They said, "No way. We've never seen a wild boar in our whole lives. You've only been here a few days. And you've already caught wild boars?" He said, "Not only did I catch them, I caught a lot. If you don't believe me, come with me. Follow me, follow me." Wow. A whole crowd followed him up. Went up to the mountain. So were the wild boars still there? Were the wild boars still there? Still there, still there. So the people were amazed, deeply impressed. They said, "You're incredible, young man. You did what you said you would do. Very good. How many did you catch?" He said, "Wow, how to even count." Then he started counting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe 7 or 8,000. 7 or 8,000 wild boars. "What are you doing?" He said, "There are more females than males." Wait, let me see. Yeah, roughly. Actually, I'm not fooling you. This story actually has a very profound meaning inside. I'm not saying you're the wild boars. Have you noticed something? On the first day when he placed the corn there, did the wild boars come? Yes, they did come. Because there were even more wild boar footprints. Then why didn't they eat? Why didn't they eat? Because wild boars are proud. They are proud. When they came and saw, yes, it was corn. Did they like it? They liked it, but they said, "I am free. I can be in the forest. I can find my own food. I don't need something that suddenly appeared out of nowhere." On the second day, it was still there. On the third day, still there. By the seventh day, that temptation, wow, it was irresistible. Suddenly, one wild boar rushed in and took a bite. The rest all followed one after another and started eating. From that day on, they began to lose their freedom. From that day on, they started to lose their freedom. What is this story really about? It says, listen carefully. When you start to rely on others, you start to lose your freedom. So many times, don't rely on others. Start from within yourself. Treat yourself with strict discipline. Be highly self-disciplined. Reflect in every moment. Hold yourself to high standards at all times. Be strict with yourself. Don't give up so easily. Rely on yourself. Only then, in the end, can you become a true winner. That's all I'll share for today. I'm Lin Wenfeng. Thank you all. Thank you very much.